With the recent release of Live, Love, ASAP mixtape by ASAP Rocky on streaming services, I wanted to do my top 10 best ASAP Rocky songs for you. I honestly think ASAP Rocky has been one of the best rappers in the game, especially in the last decade. Even though he hasn't released a ton of projects, everything he has put out has been incredible. I do have some honorable mentions for that reason, because I know if I don't mention at least some of these songs, people are gonna come for my throat. So my honorable mentions are Fashion Killa, Bass, What's Up, Trilla, Angels, Long Live ASAP, Kids Turned Out Fine, Purity, Sundress, and Praise the Lord, which is a banger. All songs honorable mentions that could definitely be flipped around into the top 10, but here is my definitive top 10 ASAP Rocky songs. Starting this thing off at number 10, I have Tony Tone. Now this is definitely the standout track on this album. And I know some fans didn't enjoy this album as much as the previous projects, but this song did remind me of classic Rocky. I love the production on this song. The record scratches in the production reminds me of vintage Rocky. And the beat is really catchy. I don't know if it's like a woodwind or an electric guitar loop, but the beat is really fun to listen to. It's a great smoker song, and it just reminds me of Live, Love, and Long Live ASAP. Lyrically, it's a hype track. He's not taking anything from nobody, so this song just reminds me of old Rocky on the newer project. At number 9, I have I Come Apart featuring Florence Welch off Long Live ASAP. And I know some Rocky diehards might disagree with me, but just let me finish here. I know this song is a bit different than typical ASAP Rocky, but I think that different is what makes this song so good. It is a breakup and heartbreak song, and anything that has to do with heartbreak from Rocky never misses. The harmonies that Florence provides in the instrumentals are so luscious, and her hook is absolutely beautiful. Rocky gives great knowledge when it comes to love and heartbreak, so I think his penmanship on a song especially like this is really good. And I know it's not really your typical ASAP Rocky instrumental, but it just fits so well, especially with Florence Welch on the track. I think this song is absolutely slept on, and it shouldn't be, and that's why I have it at number 9. Go listen to the song and keep an open mind about it. At number 8, I have Every Day featuring Rod Stewart, Miguel, and Mark Ronson. This is off at Long Last ASAP. This song samples A Broken Dream by Python Lee Jackson with Rod Stewart. And if you told me that ASAP Rocky and Rod Stewart had a song together, I just wouldn't have believed you at all. But the organ on this beat is really nice, and typically I'm not a huge fan of the organ on the hip hop songs, but in this instrumental, it really works, especially in the first half of the song. The sample is amazing, and it goes right into these really great Miguel vocals who really do the 70s song justice. It's right after the Rod Stewart vocals, and it just all works. And the beat switch halfway in this song is phenomenal. It's so smooth, and I've started to get tired of beat switches, but not when this song came out a few years ago. This beat switch is fire. It makes the song so much more hype than the first half of the track, where it goes from more of a little slower, prodigious song to just something so much more hype. It really is a great song to listen to when you're going through some tough times, because it has a lot of different elements and layers to it. Coming in at number 7, I have LSD off of AT.LONG.LAST.A ASAP, and this is another one I'm not sure if ASAP Rocky diehards will like this because it is so different, but this song is just out of this world. I mean, come on. Rocky sings throughout this track, and he fits so well on one of his trippiest beats ever. The electric guitar is just so sexy and sensual, pretty much like the content of the song. It's a trippy vibe for sure, and I absolutely love this track. Number 6, I have Canal Street featuring Bones off of AT.LONG.LAST.A ASAP once again. I think this is one of Rocky's most underrated tracks, as we do get vintage ASAP Rocky right here. I think this is a classic Rocky beat with a lot of flashes of old school hip hop. You have record scratches all over the instrumental that really just gives it that classic feel. Obviously, Canal Street is a big street in hip hop. It is name dropped a few times throughout hip hop, and it's really cool to hear Rocky talk about the street, talk about his past, before the fame on this track. Coming in at number 5, I have Palace off the mixtape Live, Love, ASAP. This is the intro to the very famous mixtape, and it just starts off the mixtape on such a high note. I love the choir in the background layers of the instrumental. You also have that classic deeper pitched Rocky voice that is so nostalgic for A$AP Rocky fans. And this is just where a lot of people got their first taste of A$AP Rocky. So especially for nostalgic purposes, I have Palace at 5. At number 4, I have Purple Swag off of LIVE.LOVE.A. Under 2 minutes, this track is damn near perfect. You could just have this on replay all day. The replayability is phenomenal. It's very atmospheric, another very vibey, chill song to listen to from Rocky. It's a classic Rocky song that just everyone needs to listen to. It's really an A$AP Rocky staple, and the mixtape is also really great with dope verses from Paul Wall and Bun B. Just so much more vintage Rocky right here. When I think of songs like this, I think of high school, college, chilling in your friend's basement. Like, you want to put on a record, something to chill to, play video games to. Like, put this on vinyl and it's gonna sound amazing. Honestly, really any of these A$AP Rocky songs. At number 3, and I am so confident what I have here at the 3 spot, I have One Train featuring Kendrick Lamar, Joey Badass, Yellow Wolf, Action Bronson, Danny Brown, and Big Crit off Long.LIVE.A. I don't know how anybody has this song outside of the top 3. It has to be top 3. I mean, just look at this lineup. We will never get a lineup like this again. I mean, just A$AP Rocky and Kendrick Lamar by themselves is a delicacy, but when you add especially Joey Badass, Danny Brown, little Yellow Wolf, Big Crit, Action Bronson, I mean, that lineup is incredible. And honestly, you don't see a lot of songs like this anymore with all of those big names, all these very lyrical rappers with great penmanship on one song. So I don't take this song for granted whatsoever because it's so good. Once again, it is more of an old school beat, very vintage. I love the piano loop on it, and the song is so lyrical, so full of great storytelling. It absolutely blows my mind. I mean, once again, when you look at the list of rappers on here, you're not gonna get anything short of incredible penmanship. Honestly, every rapper went off, especially Rocky, Kendrick, and Joey Badass had my 3 favorite verses, but every rapper did their thing. I just think a track like this is so rare, and because it's such a good song and the rarity of a track like this, I have it at number 3. Number 2, I have one of the most classic A$AP Rocky songs of all time. I'm going with Peso off LIVE.LOVE.A. This is an all-time song of A$AP Rocky. When you ask A$AP Rocky fans, you know, top 3 songs, Peso is probably going to be one of those 3. The beat is very trippy, and you really have that classic, unique, and original A$AP Rocky flow that everyone loves. I love how vibey the hook is. It's very catchy. This song just provides a lot of nostalgia for every hip-hop head. Such a big song at the time when this mixtape came out. And at number 1, I have Goldie off Long.LIVE.A. Now, I have this at number 1 because I just do think it is A$AP Rocky's best all-around song. It's produced by Hit Boy, and you don't get much better in production in hip-hop when it comes to Hit Boy. It's lyrical, luscious, luxurious. You have the classic deeper pitch voice that everyone knows and loves on the hook, and that just makes the hook 2 times as catchy as it already is. I just think it's Rocky's most perfect song when you look at all of his tracks. The replayability is there, the production is there, the penmanship, everything about it. And something people don't really think about, the mix and master on this song is so clean. And honestly, on some of the songs on the mixtape LIVE.LOVE.A, the mix and master aren't as perfect as they could be. And I know this was his debut album, so that's why the Goldie mix and master sounds so great. But when I think of A$AP Rocky, this is really the first song that comes to mind. It's just great all around, so Goldie at number 1. That is my top 10 best A$AP Rocky songs, but what is your top 10 Rocky songs? As always, music at the end of the day is subjective, so everyone's gonna have a different opinion. What would you switch around? What would you take out? And what would you put in this top 10 list? I appreciate you so much for coming. If you're still watching, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you will love listening and talking music just as much as I do. Be sure to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram at EJSpark1, and as always, you know what it is. It's peace, love, I love s'mores, EJ, out.